Deyo Ward. That is the name by which I'm known by the English people, because the tradition had come down from us that to be baptized and to be assimilated, you got to have English name. One reason is that it will hard for them to spell Nyima. Yeah. So they try to find a name that they can write. So Henry Ward, they asked him to spell Deyo, he will have difficulties. But I'm Henry Deyo Ward. My global name is Glad Deyo. My father was Glad, and myself, I'm Deyo. So the global, we call the father name first. Not like other people, like John Brown, become your family name. Glad, Deyo, Glad, 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 Glady, Glad, Twilight. Your father's name comes first in our tradition. Yes, so I'm Glad Deyo. I'm a resident, and I say an ethnic global person. I was born here some time ago. I went to school partly here. I left from here when I was 10.
From Kampala?
Yes. I went to school here, but when I was 10, I went to Hapo. And I stayed 9 years in Hapo. And I completed the 8th grade in Hapo. I went to our little parliament. I went to other school before that, but I completed the 8th grade in our little parliament in 1959. No, 1961. 62, I was promoted to the 9th grade. So I went to Monrovia, and in Monrovia, I went to high school and went to college. University of Liberia. What I wanted to learn, I learned it. And in 1970, I graduated from the university with a Bachelor of Science degree in tropical agriculture, which they call general agriculture.
1970?
Yes, 1970. And that is how much I thought I needed, to be able to sit here. If I wanted to stay in Monrovia, I wanted to stay in England, I made sure I have master's degree or doctorate degree. If I had a doctorate degree in Liberia here, I won't be here. I would have to be forced to either stay in Hapo or go to Monrovia. So I didn't want that kind of situation to happen to me. There was something called care food. Care used to bring school supply. And a man, Henry Luther Lamley, was a manager. He worked with LMC in Bonn. He wrote a book, Liberia, the Inside Story, I think, or Inside Liberia. It's different from Gunter book. And he said the reason the people used to have the good thing, not the reason, but one of the good things, that there were maggots in the corn meal, was that was the only way they could pass the port of entrance. If they were ratting, the people, they ratting, then they pass it. Don't care, they put water in it. So that was a blessing. They passed for corn meal, they were good and clean. It couldn't pass them easily. But when it got maggot in it, no, they send it up there. So if you are too good, you have difficulties trying to decide where you want to go. And I fought hard with it. When I left from college, there were not many people in my area that I liked. And I said, let me learn what I wanted to learn. Even though at that time I did not have career counseling. But God will have it. I decided what I wanted to learn. In other countries, people will decide what you learn. But I learned agriculture because I want, when the day come one day, I could feed myself and grow what I eat and eat what I grow. And I could only do it if I had some agriculture background. So I took agriculture. But when I graduated from the University of Liberia, which is now William Arthur College of Agriculture and Forestry, with only 7 who graduated that year from that discipline at the university. The whole class was about 86 or 87 that year, 1970. And there were 2 foreigners, Nigerian and an Ethiopian. And the rest 5 Liberians, which are one. The position, the job that were available for discipline that we have. When we put it on a table, we divided, each of us could take 4 options, 4 jobs. You have a choice, you know. I have 4. I could have gone to Foya Camara, the PFO in the rice project. I could have gone to the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization after studying in Italy. I could have gone to the university farm on Wada came to be a part of the Wada Rice Project. And I had an option for myself to choose what I wanted to work for the concession. And so that time job was plenty. And I decided, in choosing what I wanted, when the government wanted for me to go to Italy and work for the United Nations, it didn't match my aspiration. And in the argument, they would detach me from Kavala. That was mine. I would have no choice but to go. People want me to go to Italy, study, come join the FAO, and they would decide where I should go. And so, in the argument, people try to see me as ungrateful. That when government give you education, you don't want to join the government to what? I said, the government doesn't owe me a job. They owe me an education as a citizen. And I will have to choose what I want to do. But if I have all, and what I'm saying will sound different to other persons. Yeah. Oh, the man want a master's degree. You know, I could. But if I was that good, I would have no choice, decision to be where I am today. And I'm not regretting it. I came here in 1971. I built a house in 1974. My father was living at the time. And I knew when you're getting old, you gotta get near your grave so your casket will not be heavy. Quietly, I've done what I could do. People believe you gotta go to the state before you know book. People believe you gotta get in the government before you can do development. For me, I'm a quiet achiever. I don't make noise about what I do, which I don't want to do here. But I work in the concession area 18 years in rubber culture. After that, I worked 12 years with the humanitarian agency, with Lutheran World Service. And I paved the way for Lutheran World Service to come from Monrovia, cross over Basel, they were not in Basel, Sino, Grand Crew, to come to Maryland in 1997. And anything you see, many of the things you see Lutheran, they came here because I agreed to come. After the war, the first disarmament in 97, the army was still here when I came here. No school was open. The hospital was closed. But the project that I came to do an assessment for and went back, I brought it. People, not my money, but my influence as a catalyst, that is stimulant. We opened J.J. Dawson. Bush were growing on top of it. I provided tools, gave it to me by my organization, and they clean it around and turn it into a OPD. I had the SDA, they had what we call, they had an organization owned by the Seventh-day Adventists, ADRA. The first man who came, he lived with me in Harper, Niger. He went around and assessed the schools, and then the donors decided to reconstruct schools. The first 11 schools to be built in Maryland or rehabilitated, I facilitated the selection. Then I brought a project called Southeastern Agriculture Development Project from 97, 98, 99, and they provided input for resettlement, seeds and tools, community development projects, and how people began to return. So by 1997, April, I came here March 13, 97. No, not many people. The only one person who could say I'm a teacher was a man we commonly call Akuku. He living on Water Street there. But he's still living.
He passed.
Huh?
He passed.
He passed?
Yeah.
Okay. But that's a man who was one of the teachers. The good teachers were in exile, working for ADRA. So the ADRA school that were in the refugee camp were better. Nobody was here. We facilitated, worked with that man, and we decided from here to Kaloke, which school would be open for school fee. Some of the bridges you see here, there were no bridges. Going to Fishtown, there were no bridge. Coming to Kavala, there were no bridge. The money provided by the organization is a Geneva-based organization called Lutheran Welfare Federation World Service. They provided money for all of that. That market hall you see they sell the fish in. If they had listened to me, water would not be killing them. If they had listened to me, the lake would not have opened in Harper. When I was coming home now, I worked for 12 years and I resigned. I said I gotta go home, I'm getting old. I was about 65 years now at that time. So they asked me, what you want to carry? And I wrote a proposal for Maryland and Grand Crew. And that proposal provided 450 euro, 450,000 euro for every 18 months. Besides what we've done in the past and done everything. They said, after they were provided by an organization called Diaconia Emergency Aid, DIA. They built the school in Pula without money. They built an annex in Rashtown School. They built a bridge in Fishtown. They built a bridge that Ome broke here near Ferguson and rebuilt. All the covers, that money came. We restock the animal stock, cattle, goat, chicken. We brought cassava stick, seed rice, planting material and tools. That organization. They were not involved. So what I'm saying is that I challenge that you have to be in government to do something, you know. Now, even in the community, you will see some schools here. After I left LA, I worked for the church. The Episcopal Relief and Development. I brought it up to another level. In Monrovia, they have an office there for ELD. It was started initially as a malaria control project of the Episcopal Church of Liberia. We went to South Africa, to foreign the people that came and they started. It is that project that has spread all over the country. Now in Maryland, they are providing assistance. I think I understand that they have different leadership, credit, microcredit and things like that. So I was telling you about that market. When I perceived that market, it would have been on that road passing right by AME Church. You know it? The road, you know AME Church?
Yeah.
Huh? The road coming down to Maryland Avenue, then they go on the beach. Huh? You don't perceive, you don't know that area. Kepama High School area.
Yeah.
Behind Kepama High School,
Yeah.
where the lake entered into the city already. My idea was to extend that road to the beach and block it. So it will fall as a block to the lake, eventually opening there. And we build a market house there and put a shop inside, so when the people come 9 miles from Go Grave and go sell their goods, they will buy from that. But it will be a market which will block the lake from entering to the sea. But some authority, whoever, say, oh no, they put in a big market, they don't have place to sell fish. Initially, we built it, we finished it. When they were opening it, they didn't even call us. When the president came here, that was one of the projects, they dedicated. And the people who funded the project, the program coordinator was in Maryland. They didn't even invite us. The Maryland authority, we went to them, they called the president, they opened. That's the house behind the main market, which they are now saying is threatened by water. In that place with people, water side, you go there, But those are some of the things in Kampala here, in Go Grave, in Big Town, in Baraka, and Bolobo. We provide livestock, 2 cows and 1 goat to each village. Right now, in Kampala, the 3 animals they brought here, 15 person in that group. And it multiplied to the extent that each person now may have 4 or 5 animals. 15, it's more than 75 now. Same thing in Boulder, same thing in Big Town, same thing in Baraka, same thing in Blue Falcon.
All right.
When I joined the elderly, I left the school to see that was built by donors who were my friends, people who are friends in America. The school there, in the name of the church, but the church did not pay money for it. Somebody came when they helped and build. Then the priest house, they will build another school, the other the same side, 4 miles from here to Kala. So those are the kind of things slowly you're doing, In Grand Crew, that one, we built a junior high school. In Dubo, we built a junior high school. We provided animals there. Only that, not me, and not my money.
Let me ask, please.
Do.
The junior high schools, why you didn't extend it to senior high instead of just stopping it to junior high? Because
Where?
to the places you,
Okay.
because I realize that in almost all of the counties we pass through, the schools always stop into elementary, junior high, elementary, junior high, or elementary, junior high. Why it couldn't be extended to senior high?
Well, I do not want to be arbitrary about that. But as Kwame Nkrumah said, the public institutions that we build have something we call recurrent liability. You build a structure, even the structure we got, we manage our schedules. You can have a junior high in the morning and have a senior high in it, but who will provide the teacher? Who will pay them? So that is a liability. You don't want to leave the people with that kind of problem. Here in Kampala, since 1889, when the Hoffman Institute closed and they went to cut it down, the school that were here giving degree in theology came down to as low as 6th grade level before I came in 98, 99. I tried to facilitate the church to build or bring up the junior high, which we still have and registered, we operate in it. But the population here for a junior high at the church level, private, the population cannot pay off. The student caseload is not sufficient to hire and maintain a competent and experienced teacher for that level.
All right.
Students who graduated from our school are now at the university. Some of them were graduating this year. Thomas Smith is a graduate from our junior high here.
All right.
Jenkins Bryan and David Morgan, those both graduated from junior high here. But if we have difficulty paying the bill. The government school, the government will decide, sometimes it's based on what we call political will. You understand? There are communities here that have structures which cannot match with our structures. But if you have somebody good musician in your family, your name will be in a song. So they declare township, they declare junior high, you know. This year in Grand Cruz, Benwan, the people who graduated from high school graduated from high school from the billing that the Diaconia Emergency Aid through my initiative bill. So it become a government school. But
All right.
you don't decide, you don't give government a liability when you will not be able to hire the teachers and maintain them. So you and the government got to work together. When we write the government say our own public schools do not have sufficient teachers, so we cannot help you with teachers.
All right.
And they don't want to turn the school here into this a 6th grade level all this time. So somebody graduated from 6th grade, they go to Harper, they go to the Motorbike, they don't even continue high school. That's the problem, my son. We want to do it, but it has a liability that we cannot afford.
All right, sir. So at this point, we wrap up and say big thank you to you for lecturing us and giving us a whole lot of talk about the history of Harper and Liberia at large. So I appreciate you for everything you've done and for welcoming me and my colleagues into your humble home. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. And would like to reach to the site
Yes.
to see the other things.
Again, the clan chief is there, but there is a general town chief you need to go to, and he will navigate you, as you said,
All right.
into the other people.
Okay,
His
sir.
name is Ned Hoskin.
Hoskin.
Ask for the general town chief.
Okay.
Take care of that, and he will give you the liberty of doing what you want to do.
All right, sir. Thank you very much.